Now this is where it gets tricky. They're asking you, if you're not registered with Content ID, would you be interested in an opt-in program through Pond5 to place your tracks in Content ID if there was an easy claim release for customers and the ability to monetize your music in certain situations? I was just talking to my wife about it, reading about this. It seems like it's been written by a lawyer, and it's a lot of if, and there's a lot of would you be interested if there's the ability to in certain situations. This kind of language is just, I don't want anybody to have any type of control when it comes down to my music registration, and when it comes down to monetizing my music. What they should be concerned, and what the email was all about in the beginning, if you go back and read it, they're just saying, we would like to provide the information to the customer if the music is being registered with Content ID. So I got a few requests, both privately and on my YouTube channel, and even on social media, about doing a video explaining about this YouTube Content ID questionnaire that Pond5 is making. If you're on Pond5, you probably received this email, and I just filled up that questionnaire very quickly. What it seems to be is that they want to introduce some kind of a way of registering your own tracks for a Content ID type of program that they might have. I don't know, it's very confusing when you read the whole questionnaire, so I have filled it up myself, and you can look at it in the screen, and I just want to break it down very quickly for you. Okay, so first thing is first, once you get that email, you just pretty much just get done with a questionnaire. It's nothing really complicated. You just click on it, and it's just a very basic survey, if you will, asking you normal things like, okay, what's your username in on Pond5, how much of the music that you have is registered with Content ID. And this video is not about Content ID. If you don't know what Content ID is, go and search about it and read a little bit about it. I don't have any of my music on Content ID for obvious reasons, and that's why they're asking you here. If you're not registered with Content ID, is it because you contribute to other non-exclusive libraries? And the answer is yes. I've spoken about this before in many of my videos. I have colleagues of mine who all have their music on registered with Content ID. I personally don't do that. Some are saying that I'm leaving a lot of money on the table, but because I always I'm always joining new libraries, I don't have my music registered with Content ID, and they know it very, very well. Now this is where it gets tricky. They're asking you, if you're not registered with Content ID, would you be interested in an opt-in program through Pond5 to place your tracks in Content ID if there was an easy claim release for customers and the ability to monetize your music in certain situations? I was just talking to my wife about it, reading about this. It seems like it's been written by a lawyer, and it's a lot of if, and there's a lot of would you be interested if there's the ability to in certain situations. This kind of language is just, I don't want anybody to have any type of control when it comes down to my music registration, and when it comes down to monetizing my music. What they should be concerned, and what the email was all about in the beginning, if you go back and read it, they're just saying, we would like to provide the information to the customer if the music is being registered with Content ID. That this is something that Audio Jungle does. The music is registered with Content ID, yes or no. That's it. Now they're going a little bit deeper with this type of question 6, and don't get confused by it. I obviously press no. Because I don't want to be part of any particular opt-in program, and even if they do release this opt-in program, I will not participate in it, because obviously my music is, I have already taken the decision to not be registered with Content ID, and I don't want Pond5 to do the legwork for on my behalf either. I don't want to register with them so they can have some kind of like weird program going on in the back end of their side. So this is very complicated language, but don't be intimidated by it. Just press, at least if you're not up for this, like myself, I just press no, obviously, and then asking you if your music is non-exclusive on Pond5. But the language is very strange, so it could be a little bit intimidated at some point. Just testing this light, it's just too much. Don't be intimidated by the language. It could be, and it sounds a little bit intimidated, but again, I don't have my music registered with Content ID, and some composers do have it. It's just one of those things. It's kind of like a personal thing. People get confused as well with PROs and Content ID. They're two different things. It has nothing to do one with the other. But the whole point of the email, when you read it before you fill out the questionnaire, is about that they want to provide more information to the client, and that's perfectly understandable. But the questionnaire is very cheeky, because they're asking that question number 6. They want to know more about the musicians that are with Pond5 and why you don't have your music registered, and most likely they will like you to register your music with Content ID, but not even do it on your own, but do it through their opt-in program, whatever that means. This is similar to the questionnaire that Audio Jungle did back in the day about PROs. Back in the day, Audio Jungle didn't display this kind of information, even though they knew that a lot of composers had their music registered with PROs on Audio Jungle. So they did a cheeky questionnaire like this to find out who those composers are that they are affiliated with a PRO, and I was one of them. But it's a very similar questionnaire. This is always going to be happening in marketplaces like Audio Jungle and Pond5. They always want to know what's how can they adapt to the ever-changing environment, and they know that our customers, that they are having a lot of issues when it comes down to buying music, maybe from Pond5, and a lot of composers have registered music with Content ID, but Pond5 is not they don't have a system. They're not showing that information for the client. So the client might buy the music track, then they use it on YouTube, or they use it in other ways, and they get like a strike from YouTube. And again, this is not a Content ID video, but I can see that maybe they are having troubles in that way, and they want to display that kind of information. So I don't. That's a no-brainer. Just place the information in the description, like other libraries have, and just say, is your music registered with Content ID? You just say yes or no. Simple, so the client can know about it. But it obviously, this goes deeper, and there's a lot of hidden intentions here with the questionnaire, with question number 6. I found it quite interesting. The language is so legal terms. Anyways, I'm just doing this video because I know a lot of you guys sometimes get intimidated by this type of questionnaires and opt-ins, and it's just very simple. You just say yes or no, whatever it is that your situation is, okay? So I just felt an obligation to do this type of video and really fill the questionnaire as well, record it on the screen so you can see what I'm doing, and that is very simple. There's nothing to be intimidated about. Just express your opinion, I guess, when it comes down to if you are happy with this type of programs that they might want to introduce, and they want to learn more about the market that they're serving, not only the clients but as well as the composers. So we still have a voice somehow, and for me it's a no. When I see these kind of things, I already kind of know what's on the other end of the questionnaire. So my default answer is kind of like a no already, because I know that it might come something that is not going to benefit me. Otherwise I wouldn't be making the questionnaire. But that's my theory, okay? And I'm not a negative person. I'm not being here sarcastic, or I'm not being a cynic or anything. I'm just, I guess I'm of a certain age that I can see beyond certain things. So anyways, I hope this video finds you well. I hope this video was helpful to you. If you have any questions, just feel free to leave it in the comment section. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions. If you're somebody that is new to music licensing or to royalty-free libraries like Pond5 and Audio Jungle, download my guide, free guide, link in the description. I also have a free workshop, link in the description too. And if you're not on Pond5, you haven't received this email yet. But if you are, you will most likely have received this email, and probably you're hesitant to fill up the form. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be intimidated by it. And as always, thanks a lot for all the love and support. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. As always, rock and roll, and here's to your success.